The summary of Paulo Coelho's novel, The Alchemist, is as follows. Once upon a time, there was a shepherd named Santiago who lived in the Andalusian countryside. One calm night, he had a vivid dream while sleeping that there was a great treasure buried beside the Egyptian pyramids. The dream was so clear that he remembered its details precisely when he woke up and could actually pinpoint the treasure's location. This led to his inner turmoil. Should he believe his dream and set off to the land of the Nile to retrieve the treasure, or should he stay with his sheep? Under strange circumstances, the poor shepherd met King Melchizedek by chance. Santiago conversed with the mysterious king, who shared his personal experience in discovering his personal legend. The king emphasized that Santiago should also follow his dream, pursue what his heart dictates until the end, and make it his life's work. In exchange for teaching him how to reach the treasure, the king took 1/10 of his flock and gave him 2 precious stones, Urim and Thummim. The shepherd pondered the king's words, connected them with his strange dream, and decided to follow his intuition. He resolved to start the journey in search of the treasure. In a short time, he sold his flock and crossed the sea towards Africa. However, the young man was robbed on his first trip, losing all his gold coins, leaving him alone and depressed on the streets, regretting his decision to follow his dreams. Santiago then began looking for work to earn some money so he could return home. Fortunately, he managed to get a job with a crystal merchant. After exactly 1 year of hard work, he had saved enough money. When he decided to return to his homeland, he suddenly stopped, changed his mind, and decided to try his luck once more and continue his search for the buried treasure. Santiago joined a caravan that was crossing the harsh and dangerous desert. During his long and slow journey through the desert, he continued to think about his dream, listen to his heart and the voice of the desert. He realized that the world has a soul and that he is part of this soul, so he must understand his role well. While the caravan was resting at the oasis of Al-Fayoum, fate had it that the poor shepherd fell in love at first sight with a girl named Fatima, who enchanted him. She agreed to his marriage proposal, but only after he returned, having achieved his dream. She promised to wait for him until then. Later, during his journey, Santiago met an Englishman who was also searching for his dream. He wanted to become an alchemist, a person who tries to turn base metals into gold and silver using chemistry. This Englishman was searching for the great alchemist to learn from him. Indeed, Santiago met the great alchemist, learned the secrets of the world and the language of the universe from him. He stayed with him and was helped to continue his dangerous journey through the desert, learning life's lessons. For a moment, Santiago felt that this alchemist reminded him of the mysterious King Melchizedek. Throughout the journey, the shepherd faced many dangers and situations that taught him how to live his life better, how to face circumstances and control them instead of being controlled by them. This made him a wise person. Despite his great love for the girl, he decided to leave his love behind and continue his journey towards his dream until the end. Finally, the shepherd reached the Egyptian pyramids and felt happiness and joy that he had reached the end of the journey. The young shepherd began to dig quickly in search of his treasure, and before reaching a great depth, he was attacked by a gang of thieves who beat him, stole all his money, and forced him to continue digging. However, they did not find any treasure and left him behind. One of the thieves told him that he had once dreamed of a treasure inside an old church in Spain, and that if he were foolish, he would travel to Spain to search for it. It was the same place and the same church near which Santiago used to graze his sheep. Then Santiago realized it was a sign, and that this place was the same place where he used to sleep with his sheep. This made him think for a moment and then laugh heartily. "Oh, fate, now I know exactly where the treasure lies." This phrase made Santiago know where the buried treasure he saw in the dream was located. So the shepherd left the land of the Nile and returned to the Andalusian countryside. He went directly to the tree under which he had dreamed of seeing the treasure and began to dig with enthusiasm and anticipation until he finally reached an ancient treasury filled with gold and jewels. Afterward, he headed once again to the desert towards the oasis to reunite with his beloved. And thus ends the story of the shepherd who sought to achieve his personal legend and finally managed to do so. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button T